morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar on this website, onthisday.com.
Yep. The links to those sources, the music in the background, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander. I am joined by...
Sohin.
And? Noah, that's when you say your name. Okay, I guess he's not going to talk. We are joined by Noah. Anyway, today is July 14th.
Can't hear anything. My Wi-Fi's playing up.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Anyway, today is Freya's Day, aka Friday, July 14th, 2023. So let's jump into the history today, shall we, Mr. Sohen? Are you reading from the script, or are you reading from the stream?
I'm reading from the page itself.
Okay.
892. Oh, 982. King Otto II and his Frankish army defeated in pitched battle with Muslim army of Al-Qasim at Cape Colonna, southern Italy.
Ooh. All right.
And no, they wasn't playing baseball.
Huh. The next one there, I have it up on the script here.
1077. Peru tapestry lightly first goes on display to decorate a nave during the consecration of Notre Dame Beirut Cathedral, Beirut, Normandy.
Ooh. So the Bayeux Tapestry, let's take a look at this. Let's see here, images. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. It's a long tapestry. That's interesting there. Oh, here we go. Wow, that's a long tapestry. Holy crap, dude.
Nice. And 1535, Emperor Charles V conquers Tunis.
All right. We're going to move on up to 1570. Pope Pius V introduced a standardized Roman Missal, a text of the Latin Mass, a reform of the Council of Trent. This will remain unchanged for 400 years. All right, all the way up until like 1970. Wow, that's impressive.
He launched the missile.
He launched a missile? Oh yeah, Roman Missile. Huh.
Sorry, my internet was playing up just then, actually.
Yeah,
Did you introduce me? Because I didn't get to.
We did introduce you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Let's move on up. We also have a 1581 here. English Jesuit priest Edmund Champion arrested for sedition in Anglican England. He was later hung, drawn, and quartered. Yikes. So what that means is he was hung, so like, you know, he was like hanged, like, you know, on a gallows, and drawn and quartered. Drawn and quartered means that they tied his hands and his feet to 4 different horses, and then set them off in 4 different directions and rip them apart.
Yeah, I know about that. You know.
Horrifying. Yeah.
He's already dead.
Yeah,
though.
it is horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God he's dead.
Yeah.
That would have been a horrible way to die.
That would have been the most painful, bloody death you could imagine right now.
I don't know, man. Like, getting cannoned, like, because they used to, like, strap people to the mouth of a cannon and set the cannon off and blow them apart. Like, that's pretty
and also,
awful.
the bronze
People do that? People do that?
Yeah, people did that.
They used to? I mean,
Yeah.
Never forget the bronze bull.
Oh, God. Yeah, you know what the bronze bull is, right, Noah?
No, I don't. What is that? Oh,
that's when people made a large bull made of bronze, like a statue of a bull made of bronze, and it was literally an oven. They put people into it and then boiled them alive in there. Like, they put people into it, closed the door, and then set a fire underneath, and the bronze would heat up really quickly.
So like Nazi Germany times 2.
Essentially. Like...
Yeah, Nazi Germany times 2.
No, Nazi Germany was Roman Empire times 2.
Ah, yes.
I'm just saying
but
this
anyway,
as the way that it's an oven.
Let's move on up here. I got another one here in 1698. The Darien scheme began with 5 ships bearing about 1,200 people departing Leith for the Isthmus of Panama. Okay, well, what is the Darien scheme? It's interesting. Like, is that some kind of invasion or something? Like, let's look this up. I've never heard about this. Okay. The Darien scheme was an unsuccessful attempt backed largely by investors of the Kingdom of Scotland to gain wealth and influence by establishing New Caledonia, a colony in the Darien Gap on the Isthmus of Panama in the late 1690s. So they were trying to like set up a little colony and it didn't work. That sucks.
Pyramid scheme.
What scheme?
Pyramid scheme.
Pyramid scheme. Oh, huh. But yeah, anyway, no, like, for further research into this topic and anything else in the future, please check the underbar in the description below. I will add links to this Wikipedia and any other ones down there post stream. Anyway, let's go back to Mr. Sohan. I have one here in 1769.
1769. A day. The internet is. The Portola expedition establishes a base in California and sets out to find the port of Monterey, now Monterey, California. But ain't that the same word?
What? The same word?
Isn't that? Yeah. E-E.
E-E?
Oh, the D-E. The day.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Okay, in Spanish, normally you use D-E-S-T-H-E.
Oh. Okay.
But, you see what I'm saying? See, look.
Monterey. Oh yeah, it would have the E with the thing over it, right? Is what you're saying?
Like,
the accent.
It looks like it's saying the same thing twice. E and the.
Well, no, this is the port of Monterey, which is now just Monterey. Like it was called the Port of Monterey was the actual name of the city. Now it's just Monterey.
No. The Portobello, no, the Portorola expedition.
Portola expedition.
Keeps doing.
Oh. No, Los means the in Espanol, I believe.
Okay.
So the deportia, like, are you saying like they're saying the?
Yeah, see, you got T-H-E, then D-E.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's move up here. 1771.
1771 Mission San Antonio de founded in California. See, now that is correct.
Yep.
Mission T-H-E and
you know what? Let's see. What does de mean in? What does de mean in Spanish? De is give. Hold on a second. Spanish. De. Oh, of. De means of.
Okay, good.
So,
okay, good.
The of Portola expedition, that's weird. So, Mission San Antonio of Pauda makes more sense, yes. I think I'm seeing what you're saying. But now we get to talk about Bastille Day.
1789. Bastille Day. The French Revolution begins with the storming of the Bastille prison in Paris, now celebrated as France National Day.
Yes. And we're going to talk about a couple more things involving France. 1790 here, just 1 year after that. The Fête de la Fédération, attended by Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, was held across France on the first anniversary of the French Revolution. That's kind of a spooky, because, like, you know, they would later be executed by the guillotine during another revolution. So, but then 1 more year later, 1791, the Priestley riots drove Joseph Priestley, a supporter of the French Revolution, out of Birmingham, England. So that's weird. So all the way in England, people are you know, getting effects of the French Revolution. That's strange. But yeah, we're still stuck. We're still stuck in French history. Going back to you, Mr. Sowen, in 1795.
1795, the French National Convention decrees Marshallese by Claude Joseph Rouget de Lassay, France National Anthem. All
right. So wow. So we just did so 89 to 95. So that's 6 years of French history right there. Cool, in 1 day.
Now we broke free from the French in 1798.
Yep.
The first direct U.S. federal tax on states enacted to finance military build-up dwellings, lands, and slaves are subject to tariff.
Yikes, slaves.
Something is terribly wrong with my internet.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah.
And now I can't hear you.
But while that was happening in 1798 as well, the U.S. Sedition Act prohibited false, scandalous, and malicious writing against government. But who is saying what is false, scandalous, and malicious? You know, like that's very dangerous. Like, as it said, the path to hell is paved with good intentions, and this is a very prime example of that. They're trying to make things nice and clean. But in doing so, they're setting up the ability for people to say, "Oh no, that's not true. That's fake news. That's false."
And government will eat your ass.
Yeah. So.
Because they're not cannibals.
Anyway, moving on up to 1822. This was the dates planned for the slave revolt in Charlestown, South Carolina, by Denmark, Vesey, and Peter Royals. However, the plot was already uncovered back in June. So that's. I guess that's fortunate for everybody involved. There were no deaths or anything, but I'm pretty sure those who were planning it got some kind of repercussion, probably execution. So, but then we're going to move on up 1 year later, 1823. Switzerland signed the boundaries for fugitives. Okay, that's interesting. Whatever that means. Oh.
Yes.
That's back to you, Mr. Soen, in 1845.
1845, first postmaster provisional stamp issued in New York City.
All right.
Ooh, also, 1850, first public demonstration of ice made by refrigeration by Florida physician John Gorey. Oh, nice.
Anything involving refrigeration or hydration, of course it's coming out of Florida. That's as hot and balmy as you can get.
Yeah, 1850 is the last time they ever did something great before they regressed into whatever they are now.
Well, no, didn't Gatorade come out after that? That's pretty useful.
Gatorade.
Yeah, from Florida Gators.
Yeah, but it expanded and.
I used to love. Well, I love drinking that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I have sports drink downstairs. I gotta go get some.
1853, Commodore Perry requests trade relations with Japan.
Oh, man. All right. While that was happening in 1853 as well, New Zealand held its first general election. That's cool. And 1853 as well, U.S. President Franklin Pierce opened the exhibition of the Industry of All Nations, a World's Fair, at the Crystal Palace in New York City, which is now the site of Bryant Park. All right. It's pretty cool. And then in 1864, gold was discovered in Helena, Montana.
Them gold in them hills.
There's gold in them darn hills. Anyway, back to you, Mr. Soen. There's 1865, the mountaineer, English mountaineer, and the Chickasaw.
1865, English mountaineer Edwin Whymper leads first expedition to climb the Matterhorn. 4 die on the descent.
That sucks, but at least they made it, to the top.
Getting up there is easy. Getting down is the hard part.
Yeah.
You're looking down like, maybe we should jump.
Oh, no. Fall damage is active on this map. Okay. So. But you have another 1865 there.
1865, the Chickasaw Nation is the last of the 5.
1865, the Chickasaw Nation is the last of the 5 tribes to surrender to the Union following the Confederate defeat. All right.
I need the next 2.
All right, go for it.
1868, Alvin J. Fellows of New Haven, Connecticut patents the tape measure.
Hey, cool. I have one of them.
Hey, there's something terribly wrong with my
around your body, or.
Okay. All right. Well, Noah, if you don't mind, can you try to fix that, in your own accord? All right. Yeah. Have a good one. Yeah, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Anyway, 1870.
Oh, 1870, the United States Congress grants Mary Todd Lincoln a life pension in the amount of $3,000 a year.
Which we already did do the research because Soen and I were talking before the show about this, and it's like maybe it's for the death of Lincoln. Maybe it's because she's a first lady. Like, I'm not sure. Obviously, Lincoln's death has to be a role in it, but $3,000 a year back then would be the equivalent of like 69,000 something today, which is not bad. You can live off that a year, like if you're stringent. So. But let's see here. What else do we have? 1877. General strike brings U.S. railroad to a standstill. Yikes. 1891. U.S. John T. Smith patented the corkboard. All right, and I have a few of those over here. Like hang up memos, like with thumbtack, like little doodles, stuff like that. Anyway, what else do we have? Moving on up to 1902. The Campanile in St. Mark's Square, Venice, collapsed, also demolishing the Laghetta, which was reconstructed 10 years later in 1912. What is the Campanile? What is a Campanile? But let's check this out here. If they have any pictures of this, the Campanile. Oh, okay. Oh, so the whole tower collapsed? Hold on a second. What is a Campanile? Campanile. An Italian bell tower. So the whole bell tower collapsed. Okay, and I think I remember reading about that. So they rebuilt it in 1912. Okay, and of course that's in Venice, the sinking city, which within the next 50 some odd years might be uninhabited. We'll see. Anyway, moving on up to 1914, Mr. Sohan, back to you. Let's see, 1914. Where is it? Here we go. Historic convention.
Or 1914, American engineer Robert Goddard is granted the first patent for liquid-fueled rocket design.
All right. Ooh, the next 1914 as well.
Also, National League Boston Braves start climbing down from last place to World Series sweep.
Yeah, climbing up. So they were from last place, and then they just went straight up and swept the World Series.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. Then 1916, some more sports history.
Okay. 1916.
St. Louis.
Louis Brown, Ernie, who pitches all 17 innings for 14 hits in a 0-0 tie versus Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park.
17 innings. Yikes. Like a normal baseball game is what, 9 innings? This is almost twice?
Yes.
Like that's an entire day. Like, holy cow. Moving on up to 1921, Nicola Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti, convicted of killing their shoe company's paymaster, were sentenced to death in Dedham, Massachusetts. Oh, Dedham, what a name.
Here's to you, Nicola and Bard.
Yeah. Yeah, they killed their shoe company's paymaster. What a weird story. Like,
it's a song I heard from a game. Don't ask what the game.
Not
a bad one.
We're going to move on up 6 years into 1927. We have the first commercial airplane flight in Hawaii. All right, cool.
That's cool.
Yep. And in 1933, all non-Nazi parties were banned in Germany. Yikes. Oh. But 1933 as well, Mr. Sohan, you have another German one right after what I just read.
1933, Germany begins mandatory sterilization of people with hereditary illnesses.
See, I can see where people can call the Nazis evil for that, but I can also understand why they were doing that, because, it's not, this is a difficult thing, to try to,
Yeah, so that's not.
Well, no, I'm just saying, trying to ensure that the next generations, don't have debilitating, crippling illnesses that provide a drag, on generalized medicine and all that stuff. They're Yes, every life is precious, but there also needs to be a societal understanding that we can't afford, like, that we don't live in a utopia where we can save everybody. You know, there has to be a give and take, unfortunately. And, like, I'm not for the sterilizations. That's not what I'm arguing about. I'm just saying the reason why they were doing that to begin with, you know, like, not out of anything, you know, of evil or malicious intent, but they are actually trying to strengthen their nation, you know. They're going about it a bad way, but they're still trying to do something, you know? Anyway, back to you, Mr. Sohan. You got a baseball record here.
Yeah. 1934, New York Times erroneously declares Babe Ruth's 700 home run record to stand for all time.
Yeah. What are we at now? 1,000? Like, hold on. What's the highest home run record? Who holds the most record from Barry Bonds at 762? Oh, well, 700, you know, is actually not that bad then. Like, wow. What else do we have? Another 1944. Oh, some more sports here. Wow.
Good. We skipped. Wait, you said 1944?
No, 34.
34 months. See. Good. We skipped our second favorite Italian.
Huh. No, we'll get to them.
1934, Philadelphia Phillies score 11 runs in an inning, beating Cincinnati 18-0.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And now we get to our second favorite Italian. Who's our first?
Mario.
Oh, I thought it was Chef Boyardee. I don't know. I guess
Got it. 1938, Benito Mussolini publishes anti-Jewish African Manifesto.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yikes. Well, just, you know, I don't care. I don't care what it is or where it's coming from. Hate is hate, and it needs to stop. I don't care if it's hatred towards blacks, towards Jews, towards Asians, or towards whites. Hate is hate, and there's no justification for it.
He saved the princess. He stepped on the Goomba.
Yeah, Mario, you have to pay your taxes. Why do I have to pay my taxes?
Okay, now we go to...
We go to 1940. Due to beanball wars, Spalding advertisers batting helmet with ear flaps. Or advertises batting helmet. What the hell? Beanball wars? What?
I'm guessing people getting hit in the ear.
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
the beanball war. Okay, that makes sense. Wow, that's mean. Intentionally hitting batters in the ear. That's just rude. Oh. But also in 1940, Lithuania became the Lithuanian or SSR, so part of the Eastern Bloc. And then, speaking of that, 1 year later, 6,000 Lithuanian Jews are exterminated at the Vyzalizin camp. Yikes. So, but you got another 1941 here. This is interesting. I never heard of this. Right after what I just read.
1941, ceasefire of Joan of Arc ends combat in Lebanon and Syria.
Ceasefire of Joan of Arc. What the hell? What is?
He's been already dead for who knows how long.
Yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah, that's a weird name for a ceasefire. These military operations and their names. That's 1945.
So let me skip all the way down. 1945. Battleship USS Dakota is first U.S. ship to bombard Japan.
All right. The war. We brought the war to their shores. Took a little bit, but. And then you got a historic publication there, unless you want to talk about sports.
1946, Dr. Benjamin Spock Common Sense Book of Baby and Child Care published.
All right. Benjamin Spock.
Was it illogical? Or was it logical?
I think it would be highly logical, Captain. Let's see here. You have a couple highlighted ones if you want, but I have 1950 RE.
Sure. This is a good one. The 1946, the Kelsey program, mob of civilians, police, and soldiers investigating a false kidnapping allegation attacked Jewish Holocaust survivor in Kelsey. Polling 42 were killed, plus 40 injured. Oh,
why didn't I catch that? Yikes. Hold on a second. Let me add that in right now. That was 46 right after Spock. Yep, alright. Holy crap,
and
that is bad.
1948. Admiral Tolagatti, leader of the Italian Communist Party, is shot near to the Italian parliament in an assassination attempt.
Yikes. He survived. Going to move on up to 1950. R.E. Wayne was awarded first Distinguished Flying Cross in Korea. Alright. And 1 year later, we got the first color telecast of a sporting event on CBS. It was a horse race. So that's pretty cool. And while that was happening in 1951, in his last race, I think this might have been actually part of the color telecast, 1948 Triple Crown champion Citation won the Hollywood Cup Gold by 4 lengths to become United States' U.S. racing's first millionaire horse. All right, cool. I wonder if those two were tied in together. If anybody watching would care to go look into that, please educate us in the comment section. If this was covered in this. But we're going to move on up to 1952. The SS United States crossed the Atlantic in 84 hours and 12 minutes. Record westward. Huh. 84 hours. Okay, so that's not bad. So that was the record westward. It has to have been broken by now. Anyway, back to you, Mr. Sohan. You got an event of interest here. 1953.
1953, first U.S. national monument dedicated to a Black American to preserve the boyhood home of agricultural scientist and inventor George Washington Carver in Newton County, Missouri.
Hell yeah! I gotta go visit that. That sounds cool. I did not know that was the first black guy monument. So awesome.
Also, 1955. 2 killed and many dazed by lightning strikes at Ascot race course in England.
Yikes.
And God did not like people racing that day.
Many were dazed. They're just like, like.
Probably some agents like, yo, how about show me a sign of a god? Dun, dun.
I'm just imagining that scene from Caddyshack. He's just like, rat piss! And he gets like hit by lightning. What else do we have here? 1958. Ooh, the encyclical.
First one, 1958. Iraqi Army Brigadier Abu al-Karim Khwarizm formed a military government after overthrowing the Iraqi monarchy in the June 14th revolution.
Dang. While that was happening... Oh, go ahead.
Yep. Also 1958, Pope Pius XII publishes his 39th and last encyclical, Menese Javat.
Man, that's a lot of encyclicals. What is this one about? On prayers for the persecuted church to the venerable brethren, yada yada yada. Alright, I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Oh, here we go. On prayers for the persecuted church to the venerable brethren, the patriarchs, primates, archbishops, bishops, and other local ordinaries in peace and communion with the apostolic see. Okay, I'm going to add that into the underbar of the description post-stream, as I said earlier in the show. We're going to move on up here. What else do we have? 1959, the USS Long Beach, the first nuclear-powered cruiser, was launched at Quincy, Massachusetts. All right, that's pretty cool.
Should have been launched in California.
The California?
It should have been launched in California because of the name.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think there might be a Long Beach in Massachusetts too, but yeah, like Long Beach is more known out here. I've been to Long Beach a couple of times. It's pretty fun. Actually, I used to play Pokemon Go in Long Beach, now that I remember. We're going to move on up one more year. In 1960, fire rages through a Guatemala City insane asylum, killing 225 and severely injuring an additional 300. Yikes. That is awful. 1963, we have the 50th Tour de France. French cyclist Joaquin Anquetil won his third consecutive general classification event. He was the first rider to win Tour 4 times. So awesome. All right. Back to you, Mr. Sohan. You got, let's see here, going to skip ahead quite a bit unless there's anything you want to cover. Moving on up to this film release here in 1969. Another movie I need to see, actually.
1969. Easy Rider, directed by Dennis Hopper, starring himself, Peter Fonda, and Jack Nicholson, is released.
All right. And then you got another 69 here, 67-year-old Catholic.
1969, 67-year-old Catholic civilian died after being attacked by RUC officer in given many consider this a first step of the Troubles.
Oh man. Yep, that you know, I can't argue that. Like, that might be the first death of the Troubles. Oh. But then right after that, another 69. I didn't even realize we had these.
1969, United States 500, 1,000, 5,000, and $10,000 bills are officially withdrawn from circulation.
Wow. Well, you know, another year or two and we'll have them back with how our economy is devaluing by the second. So, printer goes brrrr. What else do we have here? 1972, Jean Westwood was the first woman chosen to head the Democratic National Committee. All right. That's cool. And while that was happening, and this sounds a little troubling, plate umpire and catcher in a game are brothers. Bill Haller is umpire and Tom Haller is Detroit Tigers catcher. Kansas City Royals win 1-0. I don't know, man. It sounds to me like favoritism could be a highly big factor in that outcome. So,
unless they don't like each other.
True. But then animosity can like harm the game. So either way, it's not wise to have family members in positions, you know, like that. Like, but that's still pretty cool. That hopefully doesn't happen anymore these days. I'm gonna move on to some music history. Why don't you take this, Mr. Sohan? You're the music guy.
1973, Bill Everly storms off stage at Knott's Berry Farm in Plano Park, California, and declares an end to the Everly Brothers. The show was planned as their last exit improvised.
Wow. Way to be salty. And to do that at the holy ground of Knott's Berry Farm, of all places, like the last bastion of, you know, amusement parks not owned by Disney or something. Like, you know, like we like seriously, out here in California, you know, we have Disneyland, we have California Adventure, we have Knott's Berry Farm, we have Six Flags Magic Mountain, we have SeaWorld, you know, and like we have that amusement park on the pier out in I don't, some beach out here in California. We have that, you know it in GTA San Andreas and all that stuff. That actually exists.
Muscle Beach.
What?
Come on, Muscle Beach.
No, Muscle Beach is next to it. Or just the unofficial nickname, or the official nickname, unofficial name of that beach. But it's not Balboa. Venice? No, Venice is somewhere else. Anyway, let's move on up here. We also have, let's see here, we got that in 1973, so let's see, we got that. 1974, some sports history. Go for it, Sohan.
1974, Billy Martin is the first American League manager ejected by umpire for 2 games in 1 day.
Wow, talk about, you know, salty people. Look at this guy. Twice in 1 day? Like, dude, like, calm down, Martin. Seriously.
Still.
Yeah. Goose Fraba, bro. Then presidential convention. Oh wait, no, 75, the one right above it.
1975, EPCOT Center Florida plans announced.
Yeah, Epcot, which is part of the greater expansion of the whole Disney World area in Florida. You know, part of that whole thing. The Epcot Center, you know, like the big dome and all that stuff. But Epcot actually stands for something. What is it? What does Epcot stand for? Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. There we go. So yeah, they were actually trying to like build like a future world, how we did things, like, you know, just lived our life to day-to-day basis. But it's Disney, so yeah, of course. Anyway, we're going to move on up to 76. We got the Democratic Convention in New York City nominated former Georgia Governor Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer, for president, and U.S. Senator Walter Mondale from Minnesota for vice president. All right. And going to move on up, skip a couple things. I'll hand the microphone back over to Sohan because we got some more music here. 1982.
Okay. Film premiere also. 1982 musical film adaptation of Pink Floyd's The Wall, directed by Alan Parker, starring Bob Geldof and written by Roger Waters, premieres at the Empire Leicester Square in London.
All right, and that's another movie I gotta watch. I heard it's good.
Ooh.
Oh, and definitely you gotta take the next one. Good thing I skipped my turn.
1983. Mario Bros. Is the first released by Nintendo in Japan as an arcade game about an Italian-American plumber.
We got to talk about both of our favorite Italians today. Woo! We started off with Mussolini, and we talk about Mario. You spoke about him earlier. That's kind of funny.
Also, 1984, New Zealand snap election, David Lane Labour Party defeats Robert Muldoon's National Party.
All right. I don't know why that's highlighted, but cool. We're going to move on up to 1986. We have, where to go? Richard Miller became the first, oh, here it is. Yeah, Richard Miller became the first FBI agent convicted of espionage. Ooh, not good.
That's their job, ain't it?
I know, right? We will send you to prison for doing your job too well. Then 1987, Greyhound Bus bought Trailways bus for $80 million. All right. And in 1987 as well, Rookie of the Year award was renamed to honor Jackie Robinson. So is it the Jackie Robinson Award or something? I'm not entirely sure. Oh. But then you got another 87 here, Mr. Soen. The very last 87.
Okay. Bob, which one?
The last 87. The one after Jackie Robinson.
Okay. 1987, Taiwan ends 37 years of martial law.
Whoa. So they had been in martial law since 1950.
Yes, I'm guessing so.
Yeah. Well, 37 minus 87 equals 50. So that's yeah.
Are they good still?
Yeah.
Don't sound like they are good.
No, it's not a good thing. You got a film release in 89. Oh wait, before that, you got something in 88. Oh yeah, the one between the two, the sports history and the film release, the little non-highlighted sandwich Oreo-looking thing.
1988, WIHY Radio offers $1 million to anyone who can prove Elvis is still alive.
I wonder if that offer still stands. I wonder if that company's still around.
Just drag a Elvis impersonator off the street. It's Elvis.
Just go to Vegas, just grab any one of them. Like, do a DNA test, it actually turns out to be Elvis. It's like, oh no, they found me. I thought I was hidden within all my impersonators. They couldn't find me. Oh ho ho ho.
Yeah, that's when Elvis puts on his sunglasses and pulls out a neuralizer.
Anyway, 1989, we got the film When Harry Met Sally was released, starring Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, directed by Rob Reiner, and written by Nora Ephron. All right.
I've never seen the movie.
I have not either, but I've heard about it. Like, it's supposedly pretty good. But while that was happening in 1989 as well, Jesse Norman sung the French national anthem La Marseillaise at the Palais de la Concorde in Paris to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the French Revolution. Viva la Révolution! Viva la France! Anyway, 1992. I think it's your turn. Actually, no, this is my third one here. 1992, 386 BSD was released by Leon Joltz and William Joltz, starting the open source operating system revolution. Linus Torvalds released Linux soon afterwards. All right, cool. So pretty soon, happy birthday to Linux. Let's see here. Let's go back to you, Mr. Sohan. You got a gas explosion in 1994. Yikes.
1994, gas explosion at old age home in Milan, 27 killed.
You know, they got to open up the windows at those old folks' home. They fart like howitzers, and, you know, all it takes is one match and the whole thing goes up. But no, all jokes aside, that is a tragedy, and that's awful. Let's see here. Unless there's anything else you want, so we're going to move on up into the next millennium. We got an assassination attempt in 2002. So 2 assassination attempts today. And I see that you're muted. Oh, wait, you're back. Are you back? Oh.
Assassinate. Okay, 2002, French President Jacques Chirac escaped saying assassination tip unscathed during Bastille celebration. Celebration.
Yeah. Wow, that's what these French, man. Like, you know, they got to calm down with all their revolution. You know,
angry Frenchmen.
Yeah. Angry Frenchmen. Seriously though, like the French are like the stereotypical like angry white guys. They're always like burning stuff down. Let's see here. 2007. Oh yeah. Well, why don't you take the film premiere, the one right before it too, as well, if you don't mind.
2007. Russia withdraws from the Treaty of Conventional Armed Forces in Europe.
That's concerning.
Gas prices way too high. Blank, 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 blank. Also, 2008, The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, premieres in New York.
Yeah, rest in peace, Heath Ledger.
I like how it says Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. I see Heath Ledger and Maggie Gyllenhaal instead.
Huh. Yeah, that's weird.
Unless he changed his name to Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, he died. But, oh well, you know what? Maybe he died and then possessed.
Oh, I'm talking about Christian Bale. I didn't see Christian Bale.
Oh, wow, I'm stupid. Heath Ledger is right there. I thought that was. Wow, I'm like, my brain is just not braining today. I am an idiot. Well, then I don't know. But yeah, no, we were having a very like good discussion about the various Jokers last night in Discord. I'm not sure if you were there, but Alice said that Jack Nicholson portrayed the Joker to the best of the comics. Heath Ledger and I would say Joaquin Phoenix are in my #1 spot of best Jokers, of all time. And of course, you have Mark Hamill, who's the voice of the DC animated Joker and all that stuff. But yeah, no, Heath Ledger, really, really good. I have a feeling at this point that a lot of people are taking into account that he died because of his method acting, into account, of his position. Not that he doesn't deserve the #1 spot, but Joaquin Phoenix did a pretty damn good job in 2019. Like, that was mind-blowing. So, but anyway, let's get back on track here. Let's move on up to 2012. A suicide bomber attacked a wedding reception and killed 22 people and injured another 22 in northern Afghanistan. Yikes. So, then 2 years later, in 2014, after 7 days, Israel had struck Gaza 1,320 times, while Gaza had fired 940 rockets back at Israel. So, yikes. And while that was happening in 2014 as well, the Church of England voted in favor of allowing women to become bishops. Wow, that is very recent. That was 9 years ago on this day. Yikes. Hey, better late than never, but still.
Ooh. 2015, Harper Lee's second novel, To Set a Watchman, an early 1957 version of To Kill a Mockingbird, goes on sale for in 70 countries. Ooh, okay.
Oh. All right. You got another 2015 right under that. Why is that not highlighted? That is astonishing. Why is that not highlighted? Oh my God, this source drives me up a wall.
Also, I don't know about that because the idea of the early version of To Kill a Mockingbird is so why they're trying to get rid of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, well, that's highlighted, but the one underneath isn't, which is weird, Okay.
2015, scientists from the Large Hadron Collider announced the discovery of a new particle called the pentaquark.
They discovered a new particle, and it's not highlighted. It is madness. They'll highlight JFK's colonoscopy test results, seriously, and they have, but they won't highlight stuff like this. Absolutely ludicrous. Sorry, it just drives me up a wall. You got another one right after that in 2018. Kind of sad.
2018, civilians killed in Afghan war reached record high with 1,692 deaths. 92 killed in the first 6 months of 2018, says the United Nations.
Yikes. While that was going on in 2018 as well, a huge iceberg looming over Inarsut village, western Greenland, prompted evacuations in case it caves. Yeah, don't live under an iceberg. Some of the places people live is just beyond my understanding. How these people live on the cliffside and then they wonder why the backyard is gone after a rainfall. Because you live on a cliff, you dillweed, Anyway, what else do we have? 2018 as well. More than 300 people were now reported killed in protests against government of President Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua. Why couldn't I say Ortega? My brain... Nah. And then 2019, we got the first Ebola case on Goma, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, a city of 1 million. A toll of outbreak reaches 1,600 victims. Yikes. And then, perfect. We have 3 more just for you, Sohan. 2020, new study somewhere. Unless there's anything you want to read before that.
New study shows Andeer condor roast heavy boar can fly for 5 hours without flapping its wings, receiving of the National Academy of Sciences.
Dang, but that's a big bird too, so it probably can just stay up in the air from the updraft. It has enough, surface area to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, 2021 drug overdose deaths in the U.S. rose 30% to a record 93,000 in 2020, according to CDC.
Yikes. I wonder how many of those are fentanyl. Oh. Good chunk of them.
30%.
Yep. And then what happened just last year on this date?
Also, 2022, Canadian singer-songwriter The Weeknd kicks off After Hours Till Dawn, his first stadium tour at Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I didn't even know he was Canadian.
Huh. I didn't know either, but yeah, we know now The Weeknd is Canadian. Huh.
And his history's done on a weekday.
Yeah. No. We have the Weeknd from Canada. Then we have Weekday from Mexico. Then we just have the Week from the United States. Wait a minute. Anyway, that will conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar in the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, which itself includes
ONTV on Twitch.
Yes, please go check out our link tree. For your dose of Pats Events Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 Mountain,
1 Central,
and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
So in.
And we had Noah in the show for a little bit, kind of, sort of. And of course, you viewer are you, and until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some notable events, weather, and sports, the Omni Coalition News Show is coming up at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Anyway, until you see us again, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!